So PewDiePie, top YouTuber in the entire world on the platform. He is number one. Very, very controversial dude. He's been talking about anime and manga lately, which I find that to be awesome because it gives him more exposure, and it also makes a lot of people feel like, hey, it's cool and it's more acceptable, even though anime and manga is definitely more acceptable now than it was even 10 years ago, 20 years ago, so on and so forth. It's a lot more acceptable now, and when you got the number one dude, most popular, talking about it, it's a great thing. I think today he just dropped the Death Note movie review, talking about the live action one and comparing it to the anime and stuff like that. Really cool stuff. So I came across this clip of PewDiePie talking about Bleach, and let's play the clip right now so you guys can see exactly what he said about Bleach and the creator.
Can we get a shout out to Bleach as an anime? What are your thoughts on it, Pitt? I really like the manga, but I'm really impressed by Bleach because it's like a young kid that made that, who wrote the manga. Like, he's clearly a genius. I think it's so cool. It's a shame that they weren't able to keep up, but I mean, for what it is, I think it's an interesting piece of history almost.
Now, shout out to my boy James Hansen for asking the question. You already know he's the biggest Bleach fan of all time. Like, ain't nobody a bigger Bleach fan than James. But it is interesting to see PewDiePie's reaction and just kind of his opinion on it. Now, he said one thing in the clip that I kind of had to take a double take at and say, huh? He basically proclaimed that the creator of Bleach, Tite Kubo, is a genius, and that he's a young kid. Now, hold the phone real quickly. Tite Kubo is 40 years old now. So when Bleach came out, you figure if he's 40 in 2017, he was 30 in 2007. You take away 6 more years. He was about 24 when Bleach started, if I'm not mistaken, because that's when it got serialized in 2001, I believe, or 2000, 2001. So it was like 23, 24. That's pretty young. I ain't gonna lie. But I mean, I think he was even getting serialized, not with Bleach, but with other manga, even since 96. So dude was about like 18, 19 when he first started getting serialized. So I would argue, yeah, he definitely was a genius at the time. He was more so a young prodigy, but I mean, dude is 40 years old and it's a little bit different now. He's not necessarily a young guy, but I definitely gotta say, I see his point with that, and to a certain degree of like, hey, he was young, but towards the end he wasn't. But then also you look at what PewDiePie says later on in the little clip where he's like, it's a shame how it ended up, but it is a piece of history. So you gotta ask yourself, and I kind of compare Bleach in a way to a certain degree, because I still say it's way better, to Fairy Tail. And what I mean by that is that Bleach had amazing amounts of potential, and even towards the end there was still some really good moments in Bleach. With Fairy Tail, I felt as though it always had some great potential to be on the level of the bigger shonen, and it also felt like it was wasted potential at the same time. So I definitely compared the two, but honestly, I think maybe PewDiePie was a little bit confused just because he was maybe younger. He was about like, his mid-20s, so to speak, when he created Bleach, or when it got serialized, and early Bleach was good. So you gotta ask yourself, it just really makes me think, what happened with Tite Kubo? Why Bleach went from like, Soul Society? There's no argument there. Nobody could tell me otherwise about the quality of Soul Society in comparison to, other shonen arcs. That is easily the best arc in Bleach, and that is a classic shonen arc in anime and manga of shonen, period. It's really good. So with PewDiePie's, I guess, conversation, or, his little comment on it, it definitely started to make me think, well, can you still say that he's a genius? You know what I'm saying? Let's just say, okay, he was a young genius. He made a really great arc in his early 20s or whatever, and then it went down. So you could argue that maybe at one time he was a prodigy, but I would argue that Tite Kubo was a prodigy that never really reached his potential, because after the Soul Society arc, yes, there was still some awesome moments in Bleach. I fanboyed a lot over certain moments in the Thousand Year Blood War, the Komomura versus Bombietta fight. Ain't nobody telling me that that was a bad fight. That was an awesome fight, and there was some good moments. I just think that, I don't know if it was something to do with his personal life. I don't know if it's something to do with the rumors that Kubo was really hard to deal with the editors, something like that. Maybe Kubo got popular and he said, I don't gotta listen to nobody, I'm doing my own thing, and that's where things started to go a little bit south as far as the quality of Bleach. I don't know, but I think PewDiePie, to a certain degree, he had a good, idea of Tite Kubo. In the beginning, yes, he was a prodigy. Yes, he was a genius. I mean, somebody in their early 20s to make something popular like Bleach, make a classic arc like the Soul Society arc, I agree, yeah, but I think he's a prodigy that definitely missed and wasted his potential, because as Bleach went on, we already know the Arankar arc, oh gosh, Fullbring arc, oh gosh, and then the end of the manga. So I'm kind of curious what people think about PewDiePie's comments on Bleach, Do you think that Tite Kubo is a genius? I definitely won't say that he's a genius. I definitely say early on in his career he had the world's most potential. Again, comparing it to Fairy Tail, Fairy Tail had a lot of potential and is just kind of like wasted potential in a sense, because Bleach could have ended up being, you know, who knows, if he would have continued the same quality and even add world building and stuff like that after Soul Society, it could have been on that One Piece level. It could have been on that Hunter x Hunter. It's just a shame that it didn't, but also PewDiePie added that as well. It's a shame how it ended, but at the very least, you know what I'm saying, it will be a piece of history. You can't take that away. So shout out to PewDiePie, shout out to James Hansen. Just wanted to throw a quick Bleach discussion. We don't really get to talk about Bleach around these parts that much, so if I get an opportunity to do so, I will. And your overall thoughts of the clip. Again, Bleach, is Tite Kubo, the creator, a genius or wasted potential? That's all I have for this one, though. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and stalk my Facebook to get more when the video ends. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. Also, by the way, real quick, it looks like PewDiePie might watch me. I don't know. I saw his Death Note movie review. Dog, if you watch me, dog, come on. Give the old F-World dog a shout out, bro. Come on. Show some love my way. I'm just saying. Have an awesome one, people.